welcome back to another episode of 2 Minutes with an ARTeater. As always, I'm your host, Kayla Quiros. Today, I am super excited to announce the amazingly talented Heather Echeverria.
Hello! Oh my gosh, that's fabulous. I love that. Thank you.
Heather, please state your year, major, and pronouns.
Yes, I'm a third year M.F.A. actor, and my pronouns are she, her.
Perfect. And then when did you start doing theater?
Yes, I started doing theater when I was in high school. I took some theater classes when I was in middle school, but those were like middle school drama classes. So I did my very first play my sophomore year in high school.
What was it?
It was a play called Crossing Delancey. I've never heard it outside of the context of my high school.
Yeah.
But it was like this cute little rom-com, and it was really sweet.
Yeah. It was beautiful. Okay, tell me about the vision of Romeo and Juliet. What do you think makes the show unique?
Yeah, so what I think is really cool that Andrew Borba, our director, is really focusing on is instead of the separation and the difference between the Montagues and the Capulets, he's really focusing on the separation between the older generation and the younger generation, which I think is really cool because I think it really highlights kind of the purity and the love that Romeo and Juliet have with each other and how like society and tradition and all of that is stopping them instead of the feud. I think it's so interesting just to see like how that generational
the gap.
divide plays out.
That's so cool. I'm so excited to see it.
I'm excited for you to see it.
And then, of course, how has it been exploring one of the most iconic roles in theatrical history as you are Juliet?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, yeah, it's been crazy because this is kind of my first full production, like full Shakespeare production. I did a Shakespeare short here when I was an undergrad, but I think also now having the training in the graduate program, the Shakespeare training, and also having worked at Great River Shakespeare Festival in Minnesota and getting to see them work, it made me less nervous to take on the role, but I definitely was like, this is something that like so many people know and love. But I think what's really cool about it and the really cool way of working with Andrew, who is directing it, and Phil, who is our speech coach, our text coach, is that it's all about like the text. Like, what are you saying and what do you want? And not thinking about it as an iconic role and like how you think the lines might need to be said, but what does Juliet want in that moment? And what is going to take her to the next scene? And what does she think is going to happen at the beginning of the scene? And what changes? And so it's really just approaching it as any other like character and
as a real human being.
And thinking about it that way and not thinking about it as Juliet from Romeo and Juliet, but this girl who's just in love and wants to be in love.
And then what is one of the greatest takeaways that you've gotten from your education at UCI? I know that you did undergrad here as well. How has it changed throughout into your to your grad program?
I feel like the undergrad and the grad world is really different. And so being here for 4 years in undergrad, I think really, for me, my journey was really figuring out how to be like self-sufficient and self-producing and like knowing what I wanted to do and then doing those things. And I found that in undergrad, some of my favorite work that I did was work that I did with my classmates and my colleagues, like DCPs and independent projects and all that. All the projects I worked on were amazing. But I feel like that's what I really took from the undergrad program. And then coming into the graduate program where it's more structured, right? We have all the classes we're supposed to take. But it also, I think with the acting training, it is all about like doing the thing. Like do the thing that your character wants to do and don't let anything stop you until something stops you, right? And it's like something so simple, but something that has really, revolutionized like how I act and how I see characters, but also like in life too, it's like, what do I want to do? Okay, how am I going to do it? And now I'm just going to do it. So, Does that make sense?
Yes, that was perfect. All right, now it's time for speed round.
Okay.
Answer as fast as you can. Spirit animal.
Oh, sloth.
A sloth, okay. Favorite cartoon?
SpongeBob SquarePants.
Yes,
I love SpongeBob.
Me too. Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Best Disney princess?
Ooh, I will say The Little Mermaid.
Great answer. All right. Well, thank you, Heather, for joining me on the podcast today. As always, I'm Kayla Quiros. Thanks for listening. Stay safe and zot, zot, zot.